The medical examiner analyzed the victim's body and discovered traces of male semen. The sample, however, was far too small to conduct a full DNA analysis, not enough to work with. Still, it confirmed what detectives had feared. The killer had assaulted Zoe before taking her life. Forensic investigators went over her vehicle and found no foreign fingerprints. Not on the door handle, not on the steering wheel. Witnesses had placed the suspect near Zoe's minivan in the parking lot, suggesting he may have driven her away in her own car. The absence of prints caught the detectives off guard, though they didn't rule out the possibility that the killer had simply wiped everything down before leaving. Several hairs were also recovered from Zoe's body, but like the semen, they were too degraded to yield a usable DNA profile. Then came the break they needed. A knife found near the crime scene carried a DNA sample, clean enough to run. They uploaded it to the FBI database and got a hit. The sample belonged to Antonio Cochran, 34 years old. His criminal history stretched back to his teenage years. Arrests for theft, assault, and breaking and entering, along with suspicions in a number of other cases. A year earlier, in 2014, the 17-year-old daughter of his girlfriend had accused him of rape. According to her, Antonio had offered her a ride, but instead of taking her home, he drove her to a remote wooded area and threatened to kill her if she tried to run. He assaulted her there. Antonio was arrested. He claimed the encounter had been consensual. The case went to trial, but without enough evidence to convict, he walked free. With the DNA match in hand, police issued a warrant. He was arrested shortly after. During questioning, Antonio denied any involvement in the murder. That pushed detectives to dig deeper. They collected a fresh DNA sample and compared it against the hair and semen recovered from the victim. Because both pieces of evidence were too small for a complete profile, analysts had to use a different method, one that works by elimination rather than confirmation. It couldn't prove a match, but it could rule one out. When they ran the comparison, they couldn't rule him out. Meanwhile, detectives turned to Antonio's phone. What they found there was interesting.